This is an inner store corner organiser. It's installed in a 900mm left-handed cabinet. It's also available in right-handed and can be used in a 1000mm cabinet. This makes the most of every bit of available space in the blind corner. Comes with 4 baskets, which take 7.5 kilos maximum weight in each, and it has a smooth, soft closing action. So first of all, unbox all of your components and check them against the fitting instructions to make sure that you've got everything that you should have and everything marries up. For installing this unit, you'll need a tape measure or a ruler, a pencil, a drill, Phillips screwdriver, a rubber mallet and pliers. You must ensure that before installation your cabinet has a minimum internal depth of 502mm, otherwise the unit won't function. First, insert your top runner carriage brackets into your rear runner carriage. You need to measure 235mm from the side of the cabinet and run this line to the back of the cabinet. Put your rear runner carriage inside the cabinet and you use the line that you've just marked up and line up your central hole on that line, and from here you can drill in place. And screw into place. Adjust the height of the rear carriage arms to the very top of the cabinet and lock in place using a grub screw. And repeat the process for the other arm. You can now drill and screw this into place. Although not shown here, this would also need to be fixed to the underside of your worktop using these screw holes. And repeat this for the other arm. So the next stage is to take your side runner carriage and your upper and lower door arms. It's best to do the lower arm first, as this needs knocking into place with a mallet. So for this, if you turn the unit upside down, it's best to place it on something so that this bush isn't touching the floor. And if you take your lower door arm, that needs to insert into here and knock down so that the screw hole is level. And then you can screw it into place. And you can then install the upper door arm, which involves turning the unit back over. And this one should slide straight into place. If it doesn't, you may need to loosen these lug screws on the back so that it slides down. The next stage is to mount this carriage to the side of the cabinet. It just sits inside. And this bottom corner sits flush with the bottom of the cabinet. This corner sits flush there. And if you pull out, that all flush, you can mark up your screw holes, which are all along the side here. And then screw this in place, as this will support the side carriage as you put the rest in. And then repeat with these holes down the side. 6 holes in total down the side and 4 along the top. So you next take your template, which is in 2 pieces, perforated. Break it apart and take P1. This sits just inside the cabinet like that, flush against the front and against the side, and then drill for the 4 holes which are positioned there. So you can then take your template away and you can mount your swivel plate. It's essential at this stage that this channel slides over the wheel there as you put it in, otherwise you won't be able to do that at a later stage. Then you line up the swivel plate base with the holes that you've drilled and screw it into place. You can now attach the linkage to the rear carriage with a washer in between and a nut underneath. You may find that you need a set of pliers to grip these with as you tighten the screw. It's best to start with the 5th hole from the right, as that usually seems to be the best position for it, but other holes are available if you need to adjust it in one direction or the other. So next, take the second part of your template, which is labelled as P2, and line that up left-hand corner of the door, and just pilot hole. Make sure it's on the centre point of those, otherwise you won't have any adjustment later on. And then repeat the process to the opposite end of the door. It's always worth making sure that you've got something underneath the door to protect it while you're drilling. And from here you can now put on your door mounting brackets and screw into place. And then repeat with the other bracket. On both brackets, the channel here will be to the inside of the door. So you can then take your door and mount it on the door arms, pop it on the bottom one, and then you have to lift the other arm up to the correct height. Slide that into place and then lock the arm in position with the lug screws around at this side. That's now locked in position with the door arm at the correct height. So next you position your grub screws in the holes on the top bracket and then lock in position with the washer and screw, and the same at the end here. And then repeat this for the bottom bracket. So if you close the unit up, see that the door doesn't quite line up, it's at this stage that you can make adjustments to the door. You can adjust side to side by loosening these locking screws and sliding along, then locking off again. You can adjust the depth that the door sits away from the cabinet by again loosening off the locking screws and altering the grub screws. And you can alter the height that the door sits at by loosening off the screws at the top here and at the bottom, sliding the door up and down, and then again locking off the screws in the appropriate position. Once you're happy that you've got the door in the right position, you can then put your cover caps on over the top of these brackets. These just clip into place. You can then install the door stop. There's no set position for this, the idea being that you want the unit to be able to open to its maximum while restricting it hitting any cabinets or handles around it. So position the stop where you're happy with it. Drill it into position. And you can then screw your stop into place. And make sure that the cabinet is free of debris at this stage. So you're now ready to put your baskets in. The two larger ones at the back. And this basket can be set at two different heights with either this hook or that one. The two smaller baskets mount on the side carriage. And again, the top basket can be mounted in two different positions. So this is the finished product. It will give you many years of service as long as it's taken care of. Don't use any oil or lubricants on it, and don't use any harsh abrasives on it when cleaning it. Thank you for watching.